Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Your man Eric Wilson, Sports Arena here, live on a Saturday morning. So as I do, as I start all my shows here, we need justice for Breonna Taylor. We need justice for Elijah McClain, and we need justice for Vanessa Gillian. Well, today is another day here, and let me just say this to start the show before I get started. Sometimes in life, and please excuse me, as always, phone calls, things are happening as they go on. So I'm trying to stay on top of everything for you guys. The other day, 2 days ago, we lost a great man here in the Central Florida area. I had the privilege of knowing him for 2 seasons with the Orlando Magic, and he introduced me to, I will probably say, one of the best journalists I have ever come to meet in my entire career, as well as a true friend, both on and off the camera. So I want to take a moment and recognize Paul Hollywood Edwards. We did lose him. He was a great man. His knowledge of the game was profound, and he always took time for other people. So I just wanted to recognize him. All right, let's get down to business. So last night, as you guys know, the Orlando Magic played the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, for me, it's a very difficult game to watch. Why? I cover the Magic. I'm from Philly. So I had to bring in some help to kind of help me break down and kind of get a true understanding of what worked and what didn't work. First off, let me introduce, he is the CEO of the UTC Venture Group in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, Mr. Keith Pandeloglou. Keith, good morning. How are you, sir?
Morning, Mr. Wilson. How are you?
It's bittersweet. The Orlando Magic lost last night, but the 76ers won last night. So I'm kind of, as always, I'm always down the middle with this. But I know you were happy because I know for a time you thought that you were kind of the bad black cat, if you will, or something when it came to the Sixers when they played the Magic. But they were successful last night.
They were. The past 4 times that the Sixers have played in Orlando, I was there with you for 3 of them, and they were 0-3. But I would like to add that last night was a home game in Orlando, and as we all know, Sixers are 30-2 at home.
All right. Well, that being said, let me also welcome in my man who I do the Magic perspective with, Mr. Alex Fleming. Alex, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm better than what I was Thursday, and thank you for that. I'm still missing them, but life does go on.
It does. It does. So, gentlemen, I brought you both on here today because I just got to understand a couple things when they're looking at both of these teams, both Philadelphia and Orlando. And Keith, I will start with you. Now, we know that Ben Simmons did not play. Joel Embiid basically being the leader on that team. I'm assuming he's taken more of a vocal role, and I'm going to ask you about that. But what did you see from this game last night that gives you the expectation that the Sixers are actually going to make a deep run this postseason?
Well, going into the game, I think the biggest decision was who goes into that starting spot. And to see that it was Al Horford, at first, I have to admit, was fairly disappointing because I think the things that you lose with Ben Simmons are creation ability. Obviously not shooting, that's not a concern, but you're missing one of your best creators and you're missing one of the best defenders in the NBA. But then when you see that the Magic were so short in the front court, I don't think that people should read too far into that Horford's automatically going to start every game. I think there's a good chance Coach Brown might play mix and match, see what he has, especially after the game that Alec Burks had last night. But knowing where the Magic were in the front court, starting Horford obviously proved to be the right decision last night.
All right. So, Alex, let me go to you because you and I have talked about this. Now the Magic have lost 3 in a row, and I think we're coming to that. Do we push the panic button on them getting the number 8 spot? What are your thoughts based off of last night's performance?
Magic are shooting too many damn threes. They went 8 of 32 from the 3-point line. That's 25%. That's simple math. Magic had a low 17 assists. They're not distributing the ball. Why? Because they don't have people that they can get a good shot off. Your boy, Terrence Ross.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
0 for 10 from the field. Guys, no Aaron Gordon. They look sloppy. They should beat up on this Philadelphia 76ers team, who has also looked sloppy in this bubble. And if they're not playing Washington, can't get a good, viable win. Shout out to Joel Embiid for taking the lead role, dog, because between the 4 starters, well, 3 starters and Burks, my apologies, the 108 points was scored, 89 of them, 4 people. 89 points out of 108 was produced by 4 people. So let's not pretend that the 76ers dominated this matchup, because they did not. And congratulations, Keith, for pointing out, for once, when Philadelphia comes down to Orlando for the last 2 years, they actually got a W.
Alex, I think you got it. Oh, there he is. I was like, I think you got him kicked off here. Keith just said, all right, I'm out. I'm done. I'm all right. I'm gonna head out. There he is.
I think my internet couldn't take what Alex was saying.
He still got that Philly 215 internet up there. They were like, no, we're cutting him off now. I don't even want to talk about it.
AOL?
That's right. That is 14.4.
Oh, my goodness. So, all right, gentlemen, in your honest opinion, and let's be real here for a minute. Keith, when I look at the Sixers and I look at the rest of the schedule prior to the playoffs, it looks as though they are going to have enough in the tank to get them and maintain. I mean, currently they sit where? Correct me if I'm wrong. They sit at 4 or 5?
They're tied for 6th, but again, the concern there is that really what you want? If looking at the strengths of this team and the weaknesses of Boston, there's an argument to be said that they should try to stay at 6, but it's very hard to try to play this keep yourself in a spot game.
Keith, really?
I believe that.
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Toronto still holds on to the number 2 spot. Boston is the number 3 spot. They're fighting with Miami to try to keep that number 3 spot. Now, if you're saying they need to stay at 6 so that way they can play Miami, they match up better with Miami than they do Boston. That I will agree with. If Boston stays at the number 3 spot, Philly's got nothing for Boston. You just lost your second leading scorer in Ben Simmons. I mean, he really wasn't much at the power forward position to begin with. Your guard play is trash between Richardson and
Here he goes.
And I'm saying that so nicely. And as far as the bigs are concerned, Wanamaker, Williams, and forgetting his name, Diaz, have more than enough fouls for Joel Embiid. You guys have no bench. The Boston Celtics have depth and a better coach in Brad Stevens than whatever the hell you want to call Brett Brown.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not going to sit here and just let you dog Brett Brown, okay? Given the situation that the Philadelphia 76ers have been over the last couple of seasons, and they have finally decided to get things working for them, you have to give Coach Brett Brown the ability to work with what he has been given. This is just like poker. You play the hand that's dealt with you. Now, he has catered to the strengths of the players of the Philadelphia 76ers, and each one of them, he has looked to see what is going to make them the best serviceable person on the floor when needed. So I'm not going to have you sit there just totally bash Brett Brown. Okay, you ain't gonna do that here. Not on this show. No.
Oh, so
that's all right. I got
great in the bubble. He just looked great in the bubble. You've had players fighting on the court with each other. Shake Milton, Joel Embiid. Your primary 3-point shooter is the center. Really? Mismanagement of minutes. All right. I mean, I can go on with this. I'm not making some booth out of the side judgment. All right. Brett Brown is fighting for his job.
Keith, I'm gonna take a step back from this one because me and Al's finna go to fighting words here in a minute. I'm just gonna say this because you just I look at the entire picture of where everything is at. But Keith, please jump in on this one because I need this man. This is why I brought y'all both in here for this.
Certainly. So the reason why I think that staying at 6 benefits them is because I believe Boston's going to wind up in that 3 seed, and the prospect of playing Miami in the first round if we got in a 4-5 scenario and potentially losing to our favorite, who doesn't F with you, he doesn't F with me, Jimmy Butler, could be detrimental to the psyche of our team, our city. Our coach will obviously not survive that. So that's a concern that I have, where I feel losing to Boston in the middle of a pandemic with a potential season looming with no fans, and you already have a coach under contract. I think there's a chance that you keep Coach Brown through that loss, but I don't believe he survives a loss in the first round to Miami, a loss in the first round to Indiana, a loss in the first round to anybody but possibly Boston, because I think they could try to sweep it under the rug. That being said, it's still up for debate whether that's not the best solution here, if we're going to get to that point where the common narrative is that you have to split up Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, which I don't buy into. I do believe the first thing that you need to do is try a different coach, make a move with Horford and or Richardson. Last night, I mean, again, just epic performance from Josh Richardson, going 2 for 12 from the field. This team does not believe in guards. It's possible that they find out that guards are a position on an NBA team in the offseason and possibly add some, and maybe we try this again.
All right, Alex, before I let you go off, let me take a real quick break with you two gentlemen. You know, I got to support those that support me. More with the sports arena. Alex Fleming and Keith Pandeloglou. I'll be back in just a moment. Hold up. Thank you.
We're dedicating this season to social justice.
We're challenging you, the fans, to join us.
Sky Takes Action means equality.
Providing opportunities.
Making an immediate impact
Means justice.
Sky Takes Action means bringing the community together.
Serving others means family.
Sky Takes Action means doing your part.
Is encouraging others to do more. Period.
Sky Takes Action means using our platform to create change.
Real change.
We've partnered with Athletes for Justice to raise money for Chicago-based charities that are fighting for equality for all.
For all.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sports Arena. Your man, Eric Wilson, alongside Keith Pandeloglou, UTC Venture Group CEO, and, of course, my man, Mr. Alex Fleming, does a show on Saturdays at 10 a.m. called Turf Talk, and he's with me always on the Magic Perspective. So, all right, gentlemen, let me ask you both of you gentlemen, this question here, because I kind of want to get to this right now. And, Alex, I'm going to start with you. When I look at the rest of the schedule with regards to the Orlando Magic, they've got the Boston Celtics tomorrow. They've got the Brooklyn Nets again. And then they've got the New Orleans Pelicans. Alex, in your honest opinion, what's going to be their record over those next 3 games? And where does that put them in regards to playoff position?
They're going to go 2-1, and they're going to finish 4-4 in the bubble. They're going to do just enough to retain that 7th seed and stay out of that death sentence known as an 8th seed. They've got nothing for the Boston Celtics. You and I were there in the Amway when Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and another name did not play by the name of Enes Kanter, and they still got beat. Now, after what they just did to the Toronto Raptors, do you really believe we got the manpower or the firepower to go up against the Boston Celtics? Let me just say politely, no. Now,
okay,
the Pelicans. We should have played them a long time ago, and they're a young team. And as far as the Nets are concerned, please.
All right. Keith, let me go to you. Same question. Looking at the rest of the schedule for the Sixers, the Trailblazers, the undefeated Phoenix Suns. Let that marinate for a second. The defending champion Toronto Raptors. And then you finish with the dynamic duo of James Harden and Russell Westbrook in the Houston Rockets. Where do you see the 76ers after those games, and where will they finish position-wise?
They could easily go 0-4, and I would be perfectly okay with that with my aforementioned wish for the 6th seed. But I just don't know how, again, this team is so fragile. I think that's evident by the psyche of it. And if there was ever a time for Joel Embiid to, if he does, and I don't know that he does or reporting that he ever did, want to show what he could do as the lead man without a co-star, so to speak, this would be the time to do it. And I really thought last night we might see some of that, but somehow he actually had probably his least dominant game in the bubble back last night. So being from Negadelphia, I'm going to predict 0-4 and let them surprise me with a win or two.
All right, fair enough. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for joining me here on the Sports Arena today. It has been great. As always, Keith Pandeloglou, CEO of the UTC Venture Group, and of course, my man, Alex Fleming. Make sure you check him out. This man's all over the place. Gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We will definitely be talking soon. Thank you, guys.
Take care, gentlemen.
All right. Well, got a little bit of time here today on the Sports Arena, and something I want to talk about. I have had the privilege to cover the WNBA this season. More importantly, cover the Chicago Sky. And again, always a big thank you to the PR and public relations department, as well as head coach, general manager James Wade, and all the young ladies of the WNBA. James Wade, over the past couple of days, I've had the chance to speak to him and listen to him in interviews. And I have to say this, being in a position that he is in comes with a lot of reward, but also comes with a lot of responsibility. Now, Thursday night, the game against the Phoenix Mercury, there were, I'll just say it was bad officiating all the way around. Not just on the Chicago side, but also on the Phoenix side. And to Coach's point, he made it very clear. This man and his group of ladies respect the game. And when things are not equal across the board, there needs to be a level of accountability. So I firmly stand behind when he said that there was a point in the game where he was ready to just take his team off the court because he felt as though they were not getting the respect they deserve. I watched that game. I saw from start to finish just blatant and flagrant missed calls by the officiating. So myself and anybody else who wants to join this cause with me, we need to speak out on this and say that just because a certain team may have high-level players does not mean that you cater to those people when it comes to allowing them to do something and get away with it and others do not. It's wrong, and there needs to be accountability. I'm going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Real quick, want to shout out a couple people who have chimed in here. My man, Rob Graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, please go support this man. All the graphics that come from the Sports Arena are thanks to him. Rob Graphics. Follow him on Twitter and on Instagram. Our friend, Miss Colleen. Love seeing you at Rafferty's, Colleen. Thank you so much for the love. And Rob again, sounds like somebody's eating big, bro. Yeah, I know, man. Technical difficulties. That's what happens here, but we got it all fixed. All love to everybody. Happy Saturday. Be kind to one another. Wear a mask, people. I cannot stress that enough. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Let's actually have those uncomfortable conversations with one another, because I feel that's the only way we're going to be able to move forward as a country, as a nation, as people, as a world. And lastly, get out there and vote. I don't care what side of the fence you're on, but make sure that your vote counts. Make sure that your voice is heard. Your man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena. Again, everybody enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to talk to y'all pretty much throughout the rest of the day. WNBA's got some stuff going on as well as the Magic. Hey, peace and love. Say it.